First Coast News begins with breaking news.
And I want to let you know right now we are following a lot of breaking news happening right now in Northwest Jacksonville tonight. I'm talking about shootings happening there. We're trying to get more information about two separate shootings. A 12-year-old boy was shot and a 30-year-old woman was grazed by a bullet.
And those shootings happening tonight at two different parks. Police believe that those shootings are connected. First Coast News reporter Shelby Danielson is on the scene. She joins us live with what we're learning. Shelby?
Well, I can tell you there are a lot of people on high alert in this neighborhood because you just mentioned two shootings, that 12-year-old boy at this park and then a nearby park where a 30-year-old woman was grazed by a bullet. And then we know just about 10 minutes ago, about 7 minutes away off of Shenandoah Avenue, two more people shot, and we're looking into that scene. But first, let's look here. You can see we're being kept further back from this crime scene. Again, this is a park, Charles Clark Park, where this 12-year-old boy, sometime after 7:30 this evening, was shot. He was sitting on a bench on the basketball court here, and we're told this was very crowded. There were a lot of people around, and it seemed like a drive-by shooting. He was shot in the leg. We know people were on the basketball court, on the football field. A lot of people took off running, and that 12-year-old boy was taken to the hospital. And if you can see in the road here, further up from that crime tape, you can see evidence markers. Usually that indicates the different places where there are shell casings. So after that 12-year-old boy was shot, soon after, a 30-year-old woman was grazed by a bullet at Yancey Park, very nearby at a baseball field here. There was a t-ball game going on, and JSO says appears to be a drive-by. They believe that these two shootings are related. So, of course, they are still looking for the shooter. We spoke with officers earlier. Of course, they're glad more people weren't hurt with how populated this area was.
It could have been, by the grace of God, and it was still terrible because two people were shot tonight at a park, but
are those shootings right now?
Thank goodness they should both be fine. So, but yes, it could have been terrible. There were a lot of people out here, and unfortunately,
are those shots right now?
Those sound like shots.
It could be.
Evidence has been found on the ground. Of course, as soon as we get
and at the end of that press conference, you heard the officer. It sounded like shots actually went off while they were giving us information, and you heard what he said. It could have been shots. Now, they are looking for people who are involved in this. They believe it could be multiple suspects, and they believe it's a light-colored early model Buick LeSabre that was driving by in these two park incidents. And again, also developing at this time, two more people reported shot just a few streets away from us. We're also following that story. We'll keep you updated live in Northwest Jacksonville. Shelby Danielson, First Coast News.
So I want to explain what Shelby is talking about there. This is more breaking news that we're following in the newsroom. Two more people have been shot just 9 minutes away from Yancey Park. That's where Shelby is right now. Once again, this is all happening in Northwest Jacksonville. And this particular shooting happened on Shenandoah Avenue. We do have a crew on the way to that scene. Now, JSO did send us some information saying that it might be an undetermined death at that scene. However, we have not confirmed that information right now because JSO also tweeted out that two people were shot on Shenandoah. So we're trying to learn all the information we can and get it to you as soon as possible. All new tonight, we're uncovering new information about a Jacksonville officer arrested for punching a handcuffed teenager about 10 days ago.
Officer Tim James is also accused of spitting on a mental health patient. Now, we were first to tell you that Officer James has a very long history of complaints during his 3 years with JSO. On your side's Julia Janae has newly obtained documents about the now suspended officer who remains on the force.
This video of an arrest made by JSO officer Tim James was the first to become public. It's not the first arrest, however, to come under scrutiny. Now, these 50 pages of James' employment history from JSO detail 11 other complaints against the officer, some by civilians, some by other officers. About half were closed for not having enough evidence, but one internal complaint shows James had a history of posting to Facebook about beating people while on the job.
Employment history records from JSO say Officer Tim James posted this on his Facebook page in January of last year. Someone just learned a hard lesson about showing your blank in Jacksonville. 3 felonies, 2 misdemeanors, and a blank whooping to boot. LOL, I love my job. Another from February 2016 read, yep, it's that kind of night already. Someone's getting a size 13 boot to the blank tonight. I can feel it. In this February 16, 2016 post, the last documented by JSO before writing James up, the officer says about working a road construction site, if you ask me, can I go this way? I'm going to drag your blank out of your car, through your window, and monkey stomp you. Over a year later, on June 10th, James was arrested for the battery of a teen already in police custody. Though we typically do not show the face of minors, we felt it was important to show what this teen's family said happened to him while he was under arrest for an outstanding warrant. James remains under investigation for hitting and killing a pedestrian with his police cruiser in May while responding to a robbery. He's also being investigated for an April incident with Daniel Nyman. Nyman is seen here arguing with James. Minutes later, James tackles and arrests Nyman for resisting arrest. Those charges against Nyman were dropped last week and he was released. Of the 11 complaints in James' history, 7 were sustained by JSO, including running a red light with his patrol vehicle, not being truthful with his supervisor when asked about contact with a female officer, and leaving his firearm in an unlocked vehicle. It was later discovered on the side of the road.
Now, those Facebook posts from early 2016, JSO found violated their policy, and they said in the reprimand that any further misconduct by James could result in a suspension, a demotion, or a dismissal. Now, there are 3 pending investigations involving James from this year. JSO tells us they can't confirm because of their policy that the same officer is involved in all 3, but they did confirm that there is only one officer, Tim James, on their force. Now, we have further information from this internal affairs report on our website at firstcoastnews.com. We've reached out to Officer James for a comment and have not received a response.
Julia Janae, thank you. Tonight, a toddler is in critical condition after nearly drowning at a home in Crescent Beach. We spoke with a neighbor who says he heard screams today. First Coast News' Hani Rodriguez joins us with the latest.
That 2-year-old was vacationing with his family from Ohio at this Crescent Beach rental home. He was rushed to the hospital earlier in the afternoon after he was found unresponsive in the home's pool. I spoke with a next door neighbor who tells me he could hear someone yelling.
It sounded like a young male say, he's drowned twice.
Next door neighbor Billy Hennessy says he was in his yard when he heard the commotion.
I saw him carrying the boy or the baby child to the ambulance and was working on him with the CPR and chest compressions and everything.
St. Johns County deputies and firefighters arrived on the scene shortly before 5. They say a 2-year-old child was found unresponsive in a pool and was transported to Flagler Hospital and later airlifted to Wolfen's Children's Hospital.
It's just a bad situation.
A situation the St. Johns County Sheriff's Office is now investigating. For now, reporting in St. Augustine, I'm Hani Rodriguez, First Coast News.
Moving to weather now. Tonight we are tracking Tropical Storm Cindy. The storm is already bringing major flooding to parts of Atlanta. Firefighters had to make a couple of swift water rescues after a parking lot that you see here at a business flooded. And rough waves are kicking up in Pensacola Beach. That didn't stop beachgoers, however, from enjoying themselves today. So let's get right to meteorologist Tim Deegan for the latest.
All right, we've tracked it. Let's try to forecast it as well. So here's Cindy, continues to organize. Winds are at 60 miles per hour, not expected to become a hurricane. Continues this track toward Sabine Pass. That's the Texas-Louisiana border. However, the major concern continues to be the rains, the flooding rains from eastern Louisiana to Tallahassee. Now, I do want to emphasize Tallahassee is the eastern edge of the heavy rains, expecting about 5 to 8 inches, 5 to 9 inches total, but you go farther west, that is the Florida Panhandle, Alabama, coastal Mississippi, and Louisiana, 8 to 15 inches, maybe more. There's going to be severe flooding, folks, out there over the next couple of days. For us, just a few local downpours for about another 24 hours. I'll take you beyond the next 24 hours in just a few moments.
Thank you, Tim. And of course, for up-to-the-minute updates on the tropics, download the First Coast News app. We'll get you push alerts with any new information. You can also head to firstcoastnews.com for the latest. This man right here, 30-year-old Raphael Gillen, is in jail tonight, accused of having sex with a minor. The victim, a 13-year-old girl. They initially, according to authorities, met online.
Shelby Danielson has more details tonight on how this all unfolded and how you, parents at home, can help prevent your children from the same danger.
Sexual predators have always been on the prowl, but at one time, society made it more difficult for them to form relationships with children.
Now they sit in their darkened room and can find kids that they think may be vulnerable all over the internet.
Jay Howell is the founder of the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. He's spent years talking to victims and perpetrators.
A whole lot of people who think that having a sexual relationship with a child is a good thing.
Howell says the exchange of personal information and the posting of sensual photos online only helps fuel their crime.
You don't want to post any pictures of yourself that are party, alcohol, drugs, suggestive threats, because it's just going to cause you a whole lot of trouble in your life.
Studies show 88% of suggestive photos posted by minors were reposted somewhere else by a stranger without them ever knowing. This latest case in Duval County, as Howell expected, stemmed from the internet.
In this specific case, the 13-year-old victim met the suspect on Facebook. From Facebook, they exchanged numbers. In this police report, it says they referred to each other as hubby and wifey in those phone conversations, and they met up here in a wooded area next to an elementary school.
Less than 10 minutes away from the suspect's home. Police say the young girl met the 30-year-old more than once to have sexual relations. In the police report, the victim says she knew his age. Howell says it's a toxic mental game.
We've tried to educate teenagers, and what we found is the best way to convince them about this is to give them concrete examples, getting a message to them that will genuinely scare them away from this. I wish this was unusual. I wish there weren't people out there that want to do this, but I think we're in a different world now.
Shelby Danielson, First Coast News.
Well, this just in tonight, Republican Karen Handel has defeated Democrat John Ossoff to win the 6th congressional seat in Georgia. This race was the most expensive House race in U.S. history. Political observers see it as an early test of GOP strength following President Trump's win. Handel will fill the seat vacated by President Trump's Health and Human Services Secretary Tom Price. The Republican Party has held this seat since 1979.
A $10,000 reward is now being offered for information leading to an arrest in the triple murder in Brunswick over the weekend. The bodies of 24-year-old Christopher Holloman and his grandparents Carson and Vandell Holloman were found inside their home Sunday. Christopher served as an assistant Sunday school teacher. A church member checking on them discovered an open window. This case has investigators and the community puzzled tonight. A prayer service is scheduled for 6 tomorrow at the Zion Baptist Church in Brunswick.
A health alert to tell you about this evening. A case of mumps now confirmed in Duval and St. Johns counties. The state health department says those cases involve 3 young adults with close contact to each other. Officials say the virus can be relatively mild but can cause long-term health problems. As a result, the Florida Department of Health is urging everyone to vaccinate themselves and their children. Well, you may have seen video of a snake biting a 1-year-old baby girl. Tonight, we now know what's next for the mother who allowed it to happen.
Wow. Plus, a burglar is found asleep on a man's bed. What the homeowner did first when he saw all of this happen.
And it's a brand new graphic debuting from the Hurricane Center for the first time this year. It's a useful tool for all of us. We'll take a closer look.
Dashcam video has just been released from the deadly shooting of Philando Castile, and I want to warn you, you may find the video disturbing.
Sir, I have to tell you, I do have a firearm on me.
Don't reach for it then.
Don't pull it out.
Don't pull it out.
This happened last July after Castile was pulled over for a broken taillight. His girlfriend and young child were inside during the shooting. She live streamed the aftermath on Facebook, sparking nationwide protests. Officer Yanez was arrested, charged with manslaughter and reckless discharge of a firearm. But on Friday, he was acquitted on all charges.
Listen to this. The Florida mother who videotaped her own baby being bitten by a snake will not face any child abuse charges. We first showed you this video earlier this month. The mother, Chartel St. Laurent, claimed she was teaching her 1-year-old a lesson about not playing with snakes. Well, the sheriff's office in Tampa determined there is not enough evidence to prove child abuse beyond a reasonable doubt.
Wow. Well, new information tonight about a former Navy SEAL who was killed when he crashed his Tesla using autopilot. The NTSB says that Joshua Brown ignored at least 7 warnings to put his hand on the wheel before he plowed into a truck. The crash happened in May last year near Gainesville. It sparked nationwide concern about the safety of self-driving cars. But investigators say Brown was audibly warned several times and also warned visually on his dashboard.
Okay, it's bad enough to come to your house and find that your home's been broken into. Well, a West Virginia man found a burglar sleeping in his own bed, and he could not believe it. I wouldn't know what to do. But this is what he did. He immediately pulled out his camera, and he didn't wait for the suspect until police got there. You can see the burglar right there being handcuffed. The burglar, Stacy Foster, lives about 15 miles away, rather. No word on why he decided to sleep in the bed. He's now charged with burglary and destruction of property, kind of like a Goldilocks and the Three Bears.
Right. Well, it is so hot in Arizona right now. Dozens of flights had to be canceled. Listen to this. Temperatures reached almost 120 degrees today. According to American Airlines, it's simply too hot to operate their planes. The last time heat has canceled this many flights was all the way back in 1990. Some store owners in Phoenix are even covering door handles to keep customers from burning their hands. Now, you know it's hot.
Now that's hot.
Yeah, that's something you don't hear about every day.
Dry or not, that is hot. Now, I have a graphic to show tonight. I want to emphasize I'm mainly showing it to help us later in the year if we happen to be threatened. But it has to do with the earliest arrival of gale force winds. We've talked about this before, but this is the first time the Hurricane Center is using this, and it's important because typically, if we're asked to evacuate, if we're asked to prepare for a hurricane, the drop-dead time, that's the official vocabulary used, to get things done, to get out of harm's way, is the earliest arrival of gale force winds, which are tropical storm force winds. So now, the Hurricane Center is going to put it on top of the graphic. Now, this is not the cone of concern. This is the graphic that shows where the gale force winds will be. That's why it's kind of irregular. The more intense the colors, the greater the chance of gale force winds. But I think with a quick look, you can still see generally the forecast track. And then these lines indicate the earliest that gale force winds may arrive. For instance, suppose you lived in Lake Charles, Louisiana. Well, this would be saying you better have things done because by 2 a.m., gale force winds may arrive here. On the other hand, maybe you live up in Longview, Texas. Well, you have until 8 a.m. on Wednesday. Or maybe you live in Texarkana, you have until 2 p.m. So again, not impacting us, but I think a pretty useful tool that hopefully we will not need later on in the year. But I'd rather us all learn how to use it now when the adrenaline isn't flowing. Well, the rain continues to flow and pour in. I mean, it's a done deal, folks. There's going to be flooding. The big question, especially from west of Tallahassee through the Panhandle, Alabama, Mississippi, and in New Orleans will be how severe will the flooding be? Life-threatening is now being used for this whole area because such a large region could probably expect at least a foot of rain from what has occurred today through probably Friday morning. Now, these are the tropical storm force warnings. Tropical storm force winds, a big deal, but again, we don't expect this to be a hurricane. The biggest concern continues to be the rain. We continue to be just on the fringes. That's where the steadier rains are, west of I-75, and I think that's where they will remain. If you have plans to reach the beach, the greatest risk of a shower or brief downpour is going to be during the mornings out around the beaches. Gale force winds Panama City westward over inland areas of Duval. Probably late morning to early afternoon will be the greatest risk of a short downpour. The heaviest rains around the first coast will be up toward Waycross, Blackshear, and Alma, and then farther out to the west of I-75, again with about 1 to 3 inches of rain. And as we look ahead, by the way, summer begins in less than an hour. Summertime heat building toward the weekend. And now we're building towards sports. Christopher?
Hello, Timmer. It was a battle between the Gators and Cardinals tonight in the College World Series. See how Florida got the W. But first, the Jaguars released their training camp schedule today. Find out what practices you can attend. Folks, we're pumping up the volume. Next in sports.
From the Farah and Farah Sports Desk, it's First Coast Sports.
Hello, everybody. We are more than 80 days away from the Jaguars playing their season opener on the road against AFC South rival Houston. But before we can look ahead to the regular season opener, our Jaguars have to get through training camp next month. Today, the Jags released their training camp schedule, which will feature 10 practices open to you, the fans. First, the rookies and first-year players will report July 19th. The quarterbacks will report July 21st, and the vets are scheduled to come to camp on the 26th. The Jags' first practice is on the 27th. Now, back to when you can attend practice. You'll be able to come to the Big Cats opening practice Thursday, July 27th, then on the 28th and the 29th. However, the practice on that Saturday, the 29th, which will be the first in full pass, is only open to Jags 365 ticket members. Now, to see the other practices open to you, the fans, visit our website at firstcoastnews.com.
Man, the first day in pads is gonna be crazy, you know, because instead of me running, towards Calais and stopping, I really have to block them now. You know, that's one of the things that's back of my head. You know, but it should be fun. You know, going out there, getting better, competing with each other, getting each other better. And man, I love this team.
Your Jacksonville Sharks are entering the opening round of the playoffs fresh off a loss in their regular season finale to the Steel. Brian Chinaki spent the morning at practice with a group of Sharks who want revenge.
Well, I'm not going to sugarcoat this. This has been the weirdest season in Jacksonville Sharks history. It started with them changing leagues. 8 games in, they go undefeated, fire their head coach. Hours later, hire a brand new head coach. Going into the final regular season finale, a shot to finish the season undefeated. For the first time in franchise history, they fall to Monterey Steel. Next up for the Sharks, a home game on Saturday. But this one is special, a playoff home game. And it's not just any ordinary playoff game, a rematch with the Steel.
We look forward to competition. We don't want any easy wins. We want to earn our respect, and Monterey came in here and got a win. So we want to definitely get back at them and revenge that win and move on to the championship.
It's win or go home. You know, we shot ourselves in the foot a lot of times last game. You know, little minor detail changes, you know, but change the game. You know what I'm saying? And definitely can play more physical this week.
And despite the Steel coming into the River City and stealing a matchup versus the Sharks, head coach Sia Burley says no roster changes this Saturday. Former Rebuild star Damian Fleming will start at quarterback. From Jacksonville Veterans Memorial Arena, Brian Chinaki, First Coast Sports.
Thank you, Brian. College World Series in Omaha, Florida, taking on Louisville. Top fourth, 1-0 Gators. 2 runners on, 2 Gators off. Dinkin Lippett. Can I get an amen? Yes, you can. 3-run homer to right, 4-0 Gators. Brady Singer was strong, 7 innings, allowed 1 run, struck out 9. Gators won 5-1. Nose and action tomorrow against the Beavers at 7 o'clock. Hashtag Team Sideline. The Range Track and Field team 4x200 got it done in North Carolina. Thus, they are the national champions. And listen to this. We will be hearing from the national champs tomorrow at 6, 7, and 11. Thanks, guys, for posting this photo on Twitter using the hashtag Team Sideline.